Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to another creepy conspiracy video. Today we're going to be going through three different topics that I've come across, and one that completely blew my mind actually, and one also that's a little bit freaky. So I'd say sit back, relax, and enjoy the show, seeing that you've got plenty of time on your hands with the whole coronavirus lockdown. And on that note, I just wanted to say that I hope you guys are keeping safe and you're practicing your safe hygiene as well. Enjoy the show.
Number 1, Michael Jordan. Every now and then I hear of a conspiracy that completely comes out of nowhere and shocks me senseless. This is a very good example of one. The fact that Michael Jordan retired as he had a gambling problem. Now I'm talking about when he retired the first time around. Jordan's gambling problem was well documented by the time he first retired. And in 92, the Washington Post reported he had admitted to covering a $57,000 gambling bet. And then in 93, businessman Richard Esconisa revealed that he had won $1.25 million in golf bets betting through Michael Jordan. The rumors about the NBA stars' gambling issues were serious enough that the league in fact launched an investigation following the Bulls' third championship run. The NBA then later went on to drop the investigation just days after Jordan announced his retirement. Sounds a bit fishy, that. The league officially stated that he had done nothing wrong, yet many people continue to view Jordan's retirement with suspicion. They assume he was either forced to retire or choose to retire as part of a deal to keep his gambling issues out of the public eye. I mean, think about it. He has a man almost in the heart of his career, and with all the publicity he brings to the NBA, he is making the NBA millions upon millions with the sponsorships and the viewerships and all of that. And to have a scandal such as him being a gambling addict and that would completely throw the sport into disrepute. And, look what happened with Tiger Woods with his whole affair. It really just tarnished the name of golf for a bit until things started resolving themselves, and then new up-and-coming golfers took that mantle from him. Anyways, to this day, no hard evidence has surfaced that Jordan was forced out of the league. Over the years, former NBA Commissioner David Stern repeatedly denied that Jordan had been secretly suspended. While MJ himself has admitted to his gambling, he's remained adamant that his first retirement had nothing to do with that issue. Many sports analysts find it too difficult to believe a player as competitive as Jordan would really walk away from the game at the height of his abilities. Yet, until hard evidence arises, the conspiracy theory will just remain that, a conspiracy theory. Number 2, Ouija Boards. Okay, so we all know that wooden board marked out with the alphabet, numbers ranging from 0 to 9, and the words yes and no on it. Well, it is believed that you can use this board to communicate with spirits and, in some cases, even demons. Look, don't get me wrong, I haven't played it, and if I'm honest, I don't really have any plans to do so. Unless someone out there is willing to do it with me. Maybe in a church with 1,000 priests and 1,000,000 crucifixes. Okay, I'm just kidding. Or am I? So, there is one story that really creeped me out about Ouija boards, and it goes a little like this. I got a call from my cousin who said that he, his brother, his dad, and his best friend were using a Ouija in their basement. Prior to starting, they took a large porcelain doll out of the room because it was creepy and placed it in an adjacent room face down on a pile of towels. Now I'm just going to go off the story and say there's a bloody good move. Number 1, I hate dolls and clowns. And number 2, you don't want anything freaky like that in the room with you when you are playing with a Ouija board. My cousin took a short break because the board was just spouting nonsense, and he went to go and make himself some coffee. His dad, brother and friend started asking the board questions without him, and one of the questions was who was in the other room. And true to its form, it just started spouting random numbers. And when my cousin came back into the room, his brother said, "Look, it's not working, we're not going to play with it anymore, we're just going to go and put it away." And he said, "Well, the last question we asked," and it just started shouting out random numbers. "These are the numbers it said," and we wrote them down. And the guy was like, "Whoa, that is my social security number." And that freaked him out a little bit. Now, for my South African viewers, a social security number is the equivalent of our ID number. So that might be a little bit creepy to start off with. So they then put the board back down and they started to talk to the spirit. He told my cousin he would die in the Air Force. At this point, they told the entity they are communicating with it just so they can prove that basically that there is a spirit there. It then spelled out the word DOLL hell, and they were a bit dazed and freaked out to say the least. They then left the room and opened the door to check on the porcelain doll they had laid in the other room. And when they opened that door, the doll was standing upright in front of the door, staring right back at them. Everyone freaked out and ran out of the house. Flippin' good move. I mean, his best friend burned the Ouija board, and I think he temporarily went nuts for a few months after that. My cousin, for some reason, then joined the Air Force and is now on a base in Europe somewhere. Now, that is creepy to me. I've heard a lot of stories about the Ouija board and what it can bring through the dimensions and stuff like that. And look, if you're not prepared to deal with it and whatever comes through, then just don't even play with it. In fact, don't play with it. Burn it. Don't make it yourself. Just saying you can Google and find out and make your own Ouija boards at home. Okay, I'm giving conflicted signals here. Let's move on. And number 3, the Mothman Sightings. On November 12, 1966, in Clendenin, West Virginia, a grave digger working in a cemetery spotted something strange. He glanced up from his work when something huge soared over his head, a massive figure that was moving rapidly across the cemetery from tree to tree. He would later describe the figure as a brown human being. This was the first reported sighting of what would come to be known as the Mothman, an elusive creature that, now widely celebrated by the town it once terrorized, remains as mysterious as it was on the night that a few frightened witnesses first laid eyes on it. Just 3 days after the gravedigger's initial report in nearby Point Pleasant, West Virginia, 2 couples noticed a grey-winged creature about 6 or 7 feet tall standing in front of their car they were all seated in. And according to the witnesses, the creature was able to fly at incredible speeds, perhaps as much as 100 miles per hour. One of the men told reporters, although agreed, it did make for a clumsy run on the ground. They knew this because the creature allegedly chased their moving vehicle to the outskirts of town in their air, and then it scuttled into a nearby field and disappeared completely out of sight. One sighting, reported by Salem, West Virginia resident Newell Partridge, told of strange patterns that appeared on his television screen one evening, followed by a mysterious sound just outside of his home. And if I've seen enough scary movies, when that happens you don't go outside. But Newell did. Shining a flashlight towards the direction of the noise, Partridge supposedly witnessed 2 red eyes resembling bicycle reflectors looking back at him. This anecdote remains a popular one in the Mothman mythos, especially because it resulted in the disappearance of Partridge's dog. Like really, why the dog could have not taken Partridge? No disrespect to Partridge. Supposedly to the clutches of the fearsome beast. Now, this story about the Mothman, it really creeps me out, and just the thought of this massive winged beast soaring in the night skies looking for its next meal is enough to keep most people indoors. One thing that bugs me with documentaries of all weird and wacky things is that the producers clearly have an agenda that they are pushing, and they don't fully buy into the myth at hand, so they will always find witnesses that look like they are suffering from some sort of mental breakdown. And this will then just throw out the credibility out the door. I'm looking to get some real hard truth on all these wacky stories I'm covering, so if you have any, please feel free to share it with me. Anyways, guys, that's it from me today. So please, don't forget to go and click that subscribe button. This way you'll have first-hand access to all of my videos as soon as they come out. And just remember to take care and look out, because the boogeyman is always watching.